Hello friends, today our topic is alkyl halide. First of all, you should know that what is alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is the combination of two names, alkyl which is an alkyl group and halide which is halogen. So its definition is alkyl halide are a class of compound where a halogen atom or atoms are bound to an sp3 orbital of an alkyl group. Means a halogen will be attached with an alkyl which is sp3 hybridized, such as chloroform. You can see that chloroform is chlorine is attached to a carbon with 3 sigma bond. Haloethane, which is in anesthetic compound. Polarity: alkyl halides are always polar compound. Halogen atoms are more electronegative than carbon atom, and so the carbon halogen bond will be polarized such like this. You can see the partial positive charge on carbon while partial negative charge on chlorine. It means that chlorine is attracting electrons from carbon toward itself. And if there is any nucleophile or electron rich species, it will attack on carbon and chlorine will remove. Now we will discuss the bond length of alkyl halide. Carbon halogen bond length increases in order of carbon fluorine less than carbon chlorine less than carbon bromine and less than carbon iodine. Nomenclature of alkyl halide. According to IUPAC, alkyl halides are treated as alkane with a halogen substitute. The halogen prefixes are fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo. Such as, you can see that the blue fluorine is attached to carbon. Its name will be fluoroethane. And look at this compound. Here is some parts of stereochemistry is discussed. The dotted line shows below the plane and the dark line shows above the plane. Its name will be trans 1-chloro 3-methyl cyclopentane. Types of alkyl halide. There are many types of alkyl halide. We will three of this we will discuss. The first is primary alkyl halide or 1-degree alkyl halide. In this type of alkyl halide, a halogen group is directly attached to a carbon which contains only one alkyl group. Secondary alkyl halide, you can see that the halogen group is attached to carbon which carbon contains two alkyl substituents. And same is for tertiary carbon, also called 3-degree carbon, where three alkyl group are attached to a carbon which is directly bonded with halogen. Some other type of alkyl halide. A geminal dihalide has two halogens in the same carbon, such as. And a vicinal dihalide has halogen and adjacent carbon. You can see that in gem dibromide, both of bromine are directly attached to one carbon, while in vicinal dichloride, both chlorine are attached to two different carbons. Now, preparation of alkyl halide. Here we will discuss that how to prepare alkyl halide. The first is free radical halogenation. It means that this is cyclohexane. It will react with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. It will convert into chlorocyclohexane 50%. And if we react with tertiary carbon which containing one hydrogen plus bromine gas, it will in the presence of sunlight it will convert into tertiary butyl bromide. free free radical reaction always occur in sunlight or ultraviolet rays. The second method is from alkenes in alkynes. This is alkene. It will react with chlorine and it will convert to alkyl halide. This is also alkene. It will react with X2 X2 means Cl2, F2, Br2. It will come to 1,2-dihaloethane. Now the next is from alcohol. This is alcohol. It is reacting with hydrogen halide and it will form alkyl halide. Alkanol to alkyl halide. From other halide. In this type of reaction, you can see that a red halogen is directly attached to alkyl group. It's the alkyl halide, and this red one will replaced by the blue one, such as plus. It means that one halogen. It means that one halogen is removing the another halogen. Now we will discuss the reaction of alkyl halide. The halogen atom may leave with its bonding pair of electrons to give a halide ion which is stable. A halide is called good leaving group. The second part, if an atom is replaced by a halide, the overall reaction is a substituent reaction. If the halide loss is accompanied by the loss of another atom, the overall reaction is called elimination. The elimination of hydrogen halide is common, which is called dehydrohalogenation. D means removal, hydro for hydro, and halogen for halogen, and T ion is for process. Look at this. The reaction of alkyl halide. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. We can see that a halogen containing carbon is reacting with nucleophile, which turns into this one. You can see that the halogen is removed with its negative charge, which is stable in nucleophile attached to ethane. The next reaction is elimination reaction. In elimination reaction, a new pi bond is formed by the elimination of halide ion to another atom, usually hydrogen. Look at this. A halogen is attached to ethane. It will react with a negative charge containing compound. It may be base, it may be anything. It will be electron rich species. It will attack on hydrogen. Hydrogen will remove and a double bond will form. Look at this. The base took hydrogen, which is formed BH bond, and it's come to alkene. In chloride is removed as negative ion. In a dehydrogenation, the base abstract a proton from alkyl halide. Now the SN2 reaction is for substitution, N for nucleophilic, N2 for bimolecular. You can say that both molecules are ready to react in one step. This reaction will be occur in one step. A reaction of hydroxide ion with methyl iodide to yield methanol. Look at this reaction. Hydroxide ion, blue one, plus alkyl halide. Hydrogen will attack on carbon and hydrogen will be removed. It will form methanol plus iodide ion, which is leaving group. Iodine ion is a stable anion. Mechanism of this reaction. Look at this. Nucleophile blue one is attacking a partially positive carbon, which is electrophile, and the iodine is removing. Its transition state is the partially bonding in breaking bond. Both will occur in one step. That's why it's called that SN2 reaction. 2 means bimolecular. Both things breaking and forming are in one step. The product is methanol and iodide is a leaving group. The reaction is said to be concerted, taking place in a single step with a new bond forming and old bond breaking. Now, energy diagram of SN2 reaction. We can see the transition state. Energy is high. The reactant energy is less. The transition energy is highest. and the product energy is less than the reactant energy. So this is a very stable reaction. Now we will discuss the stereochemistry of an SN2 reaction. Look at this. The hydroxide is attacking from backside on carbon-bromine bond, which is in sp3 hybridized. Transition sets showing that the making means forming in breaking are both processes in one step. In product is that always be inversion of reaction. The product has its stereochemistry inverted in SN2 reaction. Now look at this. The blue hydroxide ion is attacking a black carbon in blue and red and red bromide is removing. You can see transition state both bond forming and bond breaking occurs in one step. Now SN1 reaction. SN1 is a unimolecular reaction, is for substitute in for nucleophilic and one is for single molecule. Its first step always is the formation of carbocation. Look at this. This is very slow step. Is providing a positive cation alkyl group. It's alkyl plus halide is removed. Now the second step is attack of nucleophile and carbocation. Look at this. Nucleophile is attacking on carbocation and the bond is forming. First step. So energy diagram of SN1 reaction. Look at this. There is an intermediate. Intermediate means one step is completed and second step is started. The first step is rate determining step. The energy of the reactant is higher than the energy of the product. So it's also a good and stable reaction. Stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. The SN1 reaction is not stereospecific. Look at this. Bromine is removing. If the alcohol attack from the top, it will be retention of configuration. And if the look at the blue one, if alcohol is react from the bottom means planar carbocation, inversion of configuration will occur. It means that there may be retention or there may be inversion. So it's not a stereospecific reaction. Now recap of SN1 and SN2 reaction. SN1 required strong nucleophile, while SN2 required strong nucleophile. Tertiary will favor SN1 secondary then tertiary will greater while secondary is smaller. For SN2 primary is good, then secondary, then tertiary. Good ionizing solvent required for SN1. SN2 may go faster in less polar solvent. It means that a very good ionizing solvent required for SN1. If the solvent is good ionizing, the reaction will be SN1. If the solvent is non-polar or less polar, there will be SN2. There always a racemization. Racemic means 50-50 chances. There may be inversion or may be retention in SN1, but in SN2 it's complete inversion. In SN1 rearrangement is possible, while SN2 no possibility of rearrangement because there is no formation of intermediate. Now we will discuss the elimination reaction. In elimination is the loss of two atoms or group of atoms from a molecules, which will typically result in the formation of a new pi bond. It means that a new pi bond will form in elimination reaction, such as types of elimination reaction. E1 reaction which occur in two steps. One molecule is active on one time, such as SN1, and E2 occur in one step. Both molecules are active on one time. So we will discuss E1 elimination reaction first. Step 1 will be carbocation formation, slow and rate determining step such as SN1. Look at this. Halogen is removing in providing carbocation. Step 2 will be removal of proton. This will be very fast because there is also a positive charge on carbocation. It means that carbocation is not stable. Base will take on hydrogen. Base will remove hydrogen from that, and it will be the formation of alkene. Now E2 reaction. It's also in one step reaction. You can see that the base is directly attacking on the hydrogen, and the double bond is forming in bromine is removing as bromide ion. Look at this. It's the formation of methanol, alkene, in bromide ion. Here you can see that the alkyl halide is primary alkyl halide because it is attached to one alkyl group. This is refer E2 reaction. If we place here tertiary carbocation, it will refer E1 reaction. Comparison between E2 and E1 reaction. E1 base strength unimportant, but for E2 base strengths are required. Strong base will favor E2 reaction. For E1 good ionizing solvent is required, while for E2 solvent polarity is not important. Red step. E1 will follow Sedgwick orientation while E2 Sedgwick orientation. No, for E1 no special geometry required, and for E2 coplanarity required. It's maybe anti, it may be sine. Sin for same, anti for opposite side. In E1 rearrangement are common while E2 no rearrangement. Now we will discuss substitution versus elimination guidelines. The strength of a base or nucleophile will dictate the order of the reaction. Strong base or nucleophile will react more quickly and create second order kinetics. Primary halide usually undergo SN2 with good nucleophile. Also watch for rearrangement to more stable cation if ionization is possible. It means that if there is any possibility of ionization, it may be rearranged. Now the third one is tertiary halide usually do not undergo SN2 reaction. More likely to undergo E2 with a good base in E1 and SN1 otherwise. H3 will create tertiary. In tertiary halide there will be problem of steric hindrance. Secondary halide can react in all ways. It may be go to E2 or maybe go to SN2. It may be go to E1 or maybe go to SN1. The fifth one is high temperature favor elimination. If we increase the temperature of the reactant, it will be elimination reaction. The nucleophile base will usually favor one of the other types of reaction. Tertiary butoxide favor elimination, bromide in iodide favor substitution. Tertiary butoxide is very hard elimination because there is a lot of steric hindrance. Thanks for watching.